Looking to be more productive and jump those hurdles of change and challenge easier? You've come to the right place. Welcome to Thrive in Life with your hosts, Zaheen and Nanji.
Hello, and welcome to the Thrive in Life show, where we help you make resilience your first reflex. My name is Zaheen Nanji, your host, and today we're going to talk about the 4 reasons you procrastinate and 7 strategies to beat it. Now, I know you must be thinking, ooh, this sounds juicy, because who doesn't procrastinate? All of us procrastinate, including me. You know, we put things off that we know we need to do. And for many, the word procrastination conjures up the idea of being lazy, which implies a value judgment on you, that you're doing a bad thing. However, it's all right to put it off. It's okay to put off something for tasks of more importance, as long as it doesn't lead to 2 things, which is very important. And those 2 things are avoiding making decisions and a slow start to important projects. So you can put something off, but as long as it doesn't lead to these 2 things. So today we're going to talk about the 4 reasons that you procrastinate. Now, we all know that it's undesirable because it makes us play small and keeps us from living a richer and more fulfilling life. So, have you worked on something at the last possible minute? What was that like? Have you had difficulty accomplishing important tasks because of interruptions? What were the results? Have you felt too tired to start something new, even if the task was important? How did that feel? So the reasons you procrastinate are, well, number 1 is that the task is unpleasant. You view the task as boring or tiring, or think it will make you feel uncomfortable in some way. The second thing could be that you're feeling overwhelmed. And that happens to me quite a bit, especially when I take on too much, which I've learned how not to do in the last year and a half. Now, for me, I would imagine mountains and mountains of work and paperwork, or I would see a full calendar and I'd go, wow, I have so much to do. Or some of us even put like 20 tasks on a to-do list and feel like there's so much that needs to be done. Is that you? Well, this feeling could actually paralyze you from even taking the first step towards achieving it. The third one is lack of motivation. You find no internal motivation or benefit for doing the task. And you know that there is no really any kind of penalty for not doing it, therefore leading you not to do it at all. And the cost in terms of time and energy seems to outweigh the benefits. The last one is fear of failing, which is so common, isn't it? It's such a vicious cycle, because if you take action towards reaching your goals and yet fail to realize them, you fear you will then be seen as a failure. And this is very, very common. So this fear of failing stops you from taking action. Such a vicious cycle. So I'm going to share with you then the 7 strategies that have helped me and other people that I know in overcoming procrastination. Are you ready for this? So take a pen and paper and start writing this down. The first one is linguistics. So what I mean by this is your choice of words. Your choice of words affects your results. So when I first started my studies in NLP, also known as neuro-linguistic programming, I learned 5 words that I could start avoiding on how I could then change my results. So let me repeat that. I learned 5 words on how I could change my thinking so I could change my results. And here's a short video on how you can do that.
5 words that negatively influence you and others and how to change them to become more resilient. The first word is need. You only need air, water, and shelter. Whenever we use the word need, it will make you feel less in control and almost powerless. Substitute the word need with it's time. For example, I need this opportunity. Instead, say, it's time to get the right opportunity. Notice how you feel more in control when you use the words, it's time. The second word is try. Whenever we use the word try, we feel like we're not up to it and we give it the least effort. You're also sending a message to your subconscious mind that you're not sure. That's why you use the word try. Substitute the word try with I'll do it or I'll give it a go. When we use those words, the subconscious mind now knows that the doubt is gone and you will give it your best shot. The third word is should. I should do this. I should do that. That really boxes you in and limits your choices. Substitute the word should with could or would because it opens up room for more choices. For example, instead of saying, I should be able to do this, instead say, I could be able to do this. The next word is why. Whenever we ask a question with a why, the answer usually is, I don't know, I'm not sure. Or you'll notice when you ask the question with a why, the other person gets into the defense mode. Instead, start your questions with what, when, who, and how. Here's an example. Why do you do this? Instead, ask, what makes you want to do that? And now notice the answers that come up. The last word is but. The human brain only hears what comes after the but and not what comes before it. Therefore, a good thing to do is to place the weakness before the but and the point of strengths after the but. This is great for job interviews. Here's an example. I know the cost to run this project has gone beyond the budget allocated to it. That's a weakness. But you will notice that it will significantly reduce the maintenance costs that we're incurring now. That's a strength. I hope you enjoyed this 5 words that you could change starting now. If you'd like to know more about creating success in life and business, get my book from Amazon for only $2.99 or visit my website at zaheennanji.com. Thank you so much. See you there.
Number 2, the second strategy of overcoming procrastination is work in reverse. So most of us work well with deadlines. And I like having the deadline on my calendar because it helps me work backwards in creating smaller deadlines. For example, when I was writing my book, The Resilience Reflex, my deadline was July 1st, 2015. So I took that date and I worked backwards and realized if I did 4 chapters a month, that means 1 chapter a week, I could have 20 chapters in 5 months, which is the typical length of a nonfiction book, about 20 chapters. So I started writing in February and created small deadlines every week for each chapter. And so if I did that, I knew that I could be done July 1st, 2015. And in fact, I was done June 30th, 2015. Okay, so we've done the first one, linguistics. The second is work in reverse. The third one is have a smart schedule. Now, our brain works in a funny way. What do I mean by that? When you know you have less time, you will act upon it, right? And we all tend to do that. So what I do is I print out my yearly calendar month by month and I stick it on my wall in my office. Now, I want to thank my mentor, Hugh Culver, for actually suggesting this idea. So I fill up my calendar by scheduling non-working activities like the vacations that I know I will take that year, or the weddings that I have to go to, or any kind of family activities, or courses that I have to take that year. I fill all that up first. Next, I will add the dates to my shows that I do, which I do two. I do the Resilience Reflex show, and I also do the Shanti Wellness show. So I put all those dates on the calendar as well. Then I put on any speaking engagement dates that I have on hold already, and I put that as well on my calendars for the whole year. And then lastly, I put any campaigns that I want to run for the year. Campaigns for me means either a new book launch or a new course launch, or just something that I want to launch that's new. So it could be a new lead magnet. And for those of you who don't know what a lead magnet is, it's something of value that I give away for free so that people can get onto my email list, or my tribe is what I call it. Or my family. You know what? It's not my tribe, it's my family. You're my family. So that's what I like to do then. And once I do all that, I can see that most of my calendar is now booked up. So now you will start working on important tasks because you'll see that you have limited time available. And I say then, oh, if I have less time to do this, I'll act upon it, right? So there you go, smart scheduling. The fourth strategy is work at your peak state. Now, you all know when you're most productive and fully focused. Now, for me, I am more productive and focused in the morning between the time of 4:30 and 9:30. I find I can get so much done in those 5 hours. And I'm so quick, and I'm so, like, my thinking capacity is like on steroids. And if you know what I mean, start figuring out when you're most productive. Now, for some people, it could be in the nighttime. For some, it could be in the afternoon. Everyone's different. So make sure you take a note of that. And understand that distractions, intense emotions, and other concerns undermine our focus and productivity. So keep the distractions away. If you know that you have meetings, that you have to work with teams, during the day, then that is not the time you want to focus on what you want to do, okay? So let me ask you this. When are you at your peak productivity? Write that down and start working during that time and see if that's the time where you feel that, like I said before, your thinking is on steroids. Okay, so let's just recap the first four. Number one is linguistics. Change your words. That will change your results. Number two, work in reverse. Number three, have a smart schedule. Number four, work in peak state. The fifth one is make your own rewards. So promise yourself a treat once a certain task is completed. Now, it doesn't have to be food, okay? Even though I love ice cream and I want to have it once in a while, but I don't because it gives me issues with my stomach. But what I do is I treat myself with a latte, because I don't have a latte every day like some would, but I make it like my treat that once I'm done a task that was very important to me, then I go have a latte. But say if it's a project, if it's a small, project, then maybe I'll treat myself to a spa or something. If it's a medium or a large project, I'll treat myself to go shopping and buy something for myself. So those are the kinds of rewards you want to start listing for yourself for either a task, a small project, or a medium to large project. And there's nothing wrong with that because, hey, I remember when I was a kid, and probably you remember this, we were told, if you do this, you will get a reward. Well, now it's become part of my programming that if I do something, I'll feel good about it and I'll go and treat myself. Nothing wrong with that. The sixth strategy for overcoming procrastination is reframing its importance. So if you know a task has to be done, but it's not really emotionally important to you, then find a way to make it important. I hate to admit this, but I don't like cooking. However, I have to reframe its importance because I want my family to eat healthy instead of eating out. And when we eat out, guess what? We spend oodles of money. And I don't like spending money on food all the time. So because I don't know what is being put in that food, if it's high sugar, high salt, I don't like going through a fast food drive-through to feed my family. So I have to reframe the importance of cooking. And the reframing of that idea makes me want to be creative when it comes to cooking so I can enjoy the process too. So if you're not sure about reframing, I'm going to do another episode on that, which I think will be my next one, episode number 27. I'll talk about reframing then. So hang on there. But reframing is just changing the meaning of something. So this is just a example that I shared with you about cooking, which is true. I don't like cooking, but that doesn't mean I go out and eat out all the time or go through fast food drive-thrus. I have to reframe it. Okay, and then the last one, the seventh strategy is uncover start and end points. What do I mean by that? Everything has a beginning and an end, whether it's a task or a project, right? And it's a lot easier to start fulfilling to start filling the middle first if you don't know what the end and the beginning is, but you kind of know what the middle is. So start working with the middle and then slowly define the start and end points of your task so that you kind of know how big or small it is. So let me give you an example here. When I was writing the chapters to my book, I worked with a coach and he had a system. So when we would get on the phone every week to talk about my chapter, I knew the middle, like I knew what I wanted to talk about, but I had no idea how to start my chapter and end my chapter. And this is where he came in and he would say, why don't you start this way and then end it with a learning lesson? And I thought, oh, of course. So you see how just a simple thing like that can be so helpful, where when you're talking to someone and you know that this is what you want to do, but you don't know how to start or how to end, they can help you with that as well. So there you have it, the 7 strategies, and I'll just recap them for you again. Linguistics. Number 2, work in reverse. Number 3, have a smart schedule. Number 4, work in peak state. Number 5, make your own rewards. Number 6, reframe its importance. So the importance of the task. Number 7, uncover start and end points. So there you have it. Now, every episode that I bring to you, I want to make sure that it helps you in some way, that you get some tools that you can start implementing right away. So my job is to help you make resilience your first reflex. Now go make it count and make it happen. Again, this is Zaheen Nanji, your host for Thrive in Life. Bye now.
Thanks so much for listening to Thrive in Life with your hosts, Zaheen Nanji. For more great content and to stay up to date, visit ZaheenNanji.com. That's ZaheenNanji.com. We'll catch you on the next episode of Thrive in Life.